Looking at Lewis this year, from the outside it looked absolutely sensational. It looked like he stepped up again, which is hard to believe considering how good we know he is. What was it like inside the team? Did you see a different Lewis this year?
Yeah, what impresses me with Lewis, and it's inspiring for all of us here, is that how a personality that already operates on a very high level, is a world champion, is able to recognize weaknesses and step up every year. And he's come back in 2017, the strongest Lewis I've seen so far, the best him outside of the car, maintaining the force and the anger in the car, which is a very difficult balance to get right. We don't want a driver that becomes a puppy in the car just because we want to have somebody that behaves nice outside of the car. He has managed that very well, and insofar I couldn't have wished for more in 2017.
A lot of talk was about this kitchen conversation you had last year. So how is your relationship with Lewis, and how has that changed from this time last year, before that conversation, to now?
Somehow we have been working now with each other for 5 years, and we are brothers in arms because we share the same objectives. We want to win as many races as possible and as many championships as possible. And this has kind of bound us together. And some frustration built up in the last years due to the rivalry between Nico and Lewis, and reliability issues that were on his car last year. And we let it all out in the kitchen discussion. And we acknowledged each other's frustration. And that is an important step forward in a relationship, to understand where the other one is coming from.
It's an interesting thing, because when you talk to Lewis, sometimes it sounds like he's going to be in F1 for another 10 years. Other times it sounds like, well, he might just pack it in at the end of next year. What's the impression you get? How dedicated is he to the sport? How long does he want to stay in this sport?
I think Lewis is in German we say Freigeist, a free spirit. Lewis doesn't want to be put in a box. People saying you need to behave like this, you need to do this, you're a racing driver. I think one of the key things for him is to be free and be able to decide what he wants to do. For me, it is important that he performs well on the weekend and in the car. That's our deal. And as long as he does that, I have no problem in seeing him traveling the world and pursuing his hobbies. Every time he has the most crazy schedules, he sits in the car on Friday and Saturday and blows everybody off. And in a certain way, keeping all the options open is something that releases pressure from him, takes pressure off from him. He could be doing something completely different in a year, 2 or 3 times, and I am aware of that. Equally, I know he will protect the structure and not say, well, I'm out of here tomorrow. But this is part of his strengths, actually.
So those negotiations, because his contract comes to an end next year, have they started already?
Yes, they've started already, and we're on a good way. Let's see when white smoke comes out of the chimney.